Hi there, Bear fam. Welcome to another episode of Bear Thoughts. So one of my first jobs in life was actually interning at a national daily. And I knew a little bit about PR and press relations, but this was the first time I was actually seeing it pan out in person. So I was working on a story which required insights from different industry experts and few folks from the PR team of these large social media companies. I was completely intimidated by this, but I still reached out to them and got no response. And I had some lovely encouraging colleagues, and I followed up because of their encouragement, and I still saw no response. The story was slated to go up on Tuesday morning, and I sat up till Monday night till 9 p.m. following up, and I got no response. The story went up, but the responses didn't. And I was assured that this was all part of the game. And I soon realized that this was some kind of a cat and mouse chase, where as journalists, we would be chasing after PR teams for a response, and on the other side, PR teams would be chasing journalists for a feature. I found the latter quite hard to believe, given that I was only in situations where I as a journalist was running behind PR teams for a quote. But by the end of the internship, different PR teams started reaching out to me for a feature. And it felt great to be wanted and to be mollycoddled by some of these teams. Just as I started developing a penchant for PR pampering, my internship came to an end and I had to move on. And now, almost 5 years later, I find myself in a different position, but sort of a similar situation. I'm working at a small enterprise that's doing some really meaningful work and striving to spread the word. So I was asked to handle our PR and help make a splash. I understood how it worked from a journalist perspective, but little did I know how to handle it as a PR person. While I did have a few tricks up my sleeve, I did some lead generation and got hold of a list of journalists I could speak to about what we did, and I sent them emails. But these emails would come bouncing right back to me like a frisbee. I altered the email IDs to find the accurate ones, and that helped because it went to the right inbox. Did I get a response though? Nope, I didn't. And then I decided to make the emails a little more creative by adding images, removing the press releases, and reducing the text. Well, this seemed to work because I got a response or two. So okay, we're making some progress here, aren't we? But I need to mention here that through the years, we've got only organic press mentions without paying any money. We've been mentioned in Deccan Herald, the New Indian Express, Midday, among many, many others. And we've also been recognized as one of the top 5 handcrafted in India brands by Harper's Bazaar magazine. And we were also named the top 10 force of nature in India by Vogue. And this made me realize that we've always had a sense of strong community following us on our social media pages too. We've been growing a following before Instagram was as big a deal as it is today. And over the years, our following has been growing organically. And now we have over 98,000 followers on Instagram. That's a big number. And we ought to have some journalists that would be following us. And I did some digging and we did have some. So we messaged them and got some responses. Along the way, we collectively realized that we need to develop an intrinsic filter, right? So we approach journalists and organizations who are willing to pursue a climate or a sustainability-based story. And after some time researching, we were able to find some journalists who cover these themes. The thing is, despite all of these concerted, consistent efforts, we weren't able to amplify our message as much as we would have liked it to. And honestly, these exercises have only gone to show that there is so much scope in PR and that it's ever evolving. There are so many ways to approach a journalist and the trend is just changing. Now, for example, there are some journalists associated to a larger publication, but they also pursue their individual journalism on their social media pages. And if the individual journalism pursuit creates sustenance, they switch on over to this model. And it's quite smart. And we also spoke to some journalists who do the same. But after making all of these strides, we've still not had the kind of impact that we would have liked to. There's so much more to be done. And this is where we're taking the opportunity to reach out to you, our Bear fam. As you may have already observed, we've tried different methods and strategies to build our press relations, from emailing journalists to sharing specialized stories to circulating our press releases and messaging folks on social media. We've tried everything that was up our sleeves. Is there something that we're not seeing? I don't know, is there an avenue that we have missed exploring? Would hosting events help, for example? Shall we continue to be persistent on emails and social media? Would micro-targeting journalists suit our needs? And also, how do we talk to journalists in a way that comes across as positively persistent, but not a brand that pesters them? We have all of these questions and more, and we need your help. We're always here to hear you out, and we've got our learning caps on. Our Bear community has only built us on from one milestone to the next, and we're incredibly grateful to you all. We believe there's so much to learn, and we want to take this opportunity to extend you to be a part of our journey. And if this sounds like something that you can help us out with, hit us up on info@barenecessities.in or leave us a message on Instagram. We believe everyone deserves a clean future, and together we can make it happen. Here's our invite to you to join us in making zero waste living the norm and not the exception.